All right, all we need is a DJ and some tunes. We get a party going on in this Lego room. Welcome back to Bangers Bricks, everybody. My name is Ben. As you can see today, we are going to be hanging up the tape lighting in the Lego room. We're also going to be taking a look, diving deeper into the Avengers Tower and trying to find the best place that it will fit within the Lego city. Lastly, we'll take a look at a few new Lego purchases that we've made over the past couple weeks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's get started. Hey, welcome back to Bangers Bricks, everybody. I'm excited today as we are finally getting our LED strip lighting put in so we can finally get rid of some of these nasty shadows that is being caused by the new shelving that we put up. I love the shelves. Again, you guys have been through the journey. You see the different shelves that we put in. I think everything looks great, but we need more lighting within the Lego room, especially because we don't get that natural sunlight via windows or anything else. So finally, this came in. Again, I mentioned this was bought off of Amazon, and this is going to be our strip lighting. It's 16.4 feet, should reach all the way around underneath each shelf. And we'll open this bad boy up. You can see that we have our strip lighting wheel here. And then underneath, we are going to have our directions. Primarily, we're going to have to look at what app we can download, because this will be something that I can control from my phone. As it says, you know, it has a bunch of different colors that you can use. And the only reason that I wanted to get the different colors, not necessarily to, you know, go along to music or anything, although that's something that you can do with the strip lighting package. But the primary reason is that there are so many different colors of white or light. And so what I want to do is make sure that it matches the different light bulbs that we have and the warmness that we have with the can lights that we currently have and the new bulbs that we put in earlier this year. So this is going to be our power adapter. I'm excited. The one thing I want to talk a little bit more about is really the connectors that we're going to use, because as you know, the strip lighting is all straights. Now, when you have different 90-degree turns with your shelving like this, what you'll do is you'll end up running the strip lighting underneath, right? We have our gap from where our shelf meets our bracket. The strip lighting will run all the way down into the corner, and then it will do a 90-degree turn, and that's where our connectors will come into play. So this bad boy will fit up right underneath here, complete opposite way that I have it, and then it will connect both strips, run all the way down along there, and then we'll have another connector down here in this corner, and then finish it off on that end. So let me get all of this out, make sure I get the app downloaded, and we'll keep working. Now that we have the Smart Life app downloaded, we can take a further look at our Dreamcolor LED strip light. This is a strip light that is three-pronged. What I mean by three prongs is we do have three separate prongs where we're going to be baking our cuts so that we can then take our 3-pin L connectors or 90-degree connectors and connect them so they run along our entire shelving. Now, taking a look at the actual app and really what the lights can do, really found this super interesting as it does a lot more than I thought it did. So when we just turn to touch it on here, as you can see, it comes directly to our white colors. As I mentioned, we want multiple shades of white just so that we can really get that comparison and make sure that is as similar as to our can lights as it can be. And so as you can see, we really have different shades of white. We have more yellow, and then you can get to more of a brighter, like bluish white. So definitely going to be a big necessity for our room so that we can really match some of our different lights up. Now we can go into different colors as well. You have green, yellow, any color you need. They have different shades, which is really cool. Also have a couple of different modes, such as like static, which really goes into just more static mode of different colors, different variations that are still. But then you can also go into something like dynamic, which I thought was pretty cool. You can have different, like this is Santa Claus, obviously giving you more of the Christmas look, but then also you can go into like fire, and you can go into some of the other ones, Halloween. I thought this one was pretty cool as Halloween's coming up here, but definitely a couple different options that you can use. Again, if we're gonna have any discos within the legroom, definitely going to be a hit at the party, but we're probably more or less gonna use this just for the white colors, but let's start to get this installed. As we got started hanging up our LED strip lighting, we really tried to stick to the measure twice, cut once method, and overall it ended up working out pretty well, but that's really why you see me doing a few dry runs here and there, and really had to take things off, you know, in the corners, really had to adjust, primarily because the adhesive wasn't quite as sticky as I thought it would be. And honestly, I realized that I didn't go as in-depth as I wanted to, where the strip lighting meets the L connectors, and I want to talk a little bit more about that, because that did get a little tricky in a few spots. Before we adhere this last strip of strip lighting to our shelving, I want to show you exactly how we are cutting the strip lighting as well as connecting it to our L connector in the corner. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to find your 3 prongs right here. We're going to cut it right on that black line right down the middle. So make sure you take your time. Now the one thing about this certain set of strip lighting is that it does have a clear casing on the outside. I know it's probably kind of hard to see. Obviously it's a nice little protector, a nice little barrier that you have for your strip lighting, but one thing is it can be kind of tricky is because it doesn't necessarily fit into the connector. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to take this, and then what we'll end up doing is trying to use the fingernails. I shouldn't have clipped my fingernails before this, but we will peel this protective layer back if we can. All right. We got a little bit. Have to peel back just a little bit more. Primarily because since that's causing it not to necessarily be flat, it's going to be really hard to get into our connector. All right, there we go. That's better. So now that we have, goodness gracious, this thing is on here. All right, perfect. That's a little better. So now that we have that little clear casing off, it'll now be able to fit into our L connector, just like that. And then once we get our other strip lighting strip cut, we'll then connect it onto our other strip light right here. And again, that's just going to keep the continuation of the electricity flowing through each strip. All right, let's get this hung up. The tape lighting is up and overall looks pretty decent. Before we get into the good and the bad, I do want to talk about a little issue that I had as I was installing them. I'll post a video up here so that you guys can take a look at the issue I was having. But as you can see in the videos, we had red lights here, right? I could change the color, I could change the warmness of it, but I could not get the middle section to work. It was completely blank. And I was like, all right, well, it's got to be an issue with the L connector, right? Well, unfortunately, I didn't think that was the case because what I had over here was we were actually able to get light over on this side. I couldn't change it, but I know that there was electricity flowing through the L connectors and the lights. So what I ended up doing, I took everything out, I ended up fixing everything up. We actually switched this strip of lights around, did a 180, and then also took off the L connectors and replaced them. As I was going through, if I can get this to focus, there's actually a decent sized rip on this. I don't know if it was when we were taking them down or if it was when I was putting them up, but that could have been a contributor. But also flipping the lights around, I'm not sure if that fixed it. So anyway, we have it worked out and overall it's looking pretty good. Before we get into the negatives, let's talk about the positives of the tape lighting. Overall, the lights are off right now, and I think that this is really just kind of a cool overall feel to the Lego room. You know, I can come in here and kind of work on things randomly. I know it's a little dark, but again, the lights add a little bit of, you know, a little ambiance to the city, just like it's nighttime. But the biggest issue I'm having is that it's just not a ton of light. It's not as much light as I thought it was going to be. The lights are up 100%, and as we take a step outside of the Lego room, I still think it looks pretty good. The only issue that I'm having is that when the lights are on, it's just not getting rid of the shadowing. And I know we're going to have to add more lighting into the Lego city anyway. And so I think we're just going to have to take a bigger and more in-depth look at some of the different lighting options that we have to just portray a little bit more light up into those areas. But overall, I do think that it looks pretty good with the lights off, and it does add a little bit more light onto the face of some of the modulars on the second tier. All right, I'm going to be completely honest. I am a little bummed about the lights. I really thought that they were going to be a little bit brighter than they were, but I still think they look pretty cool, and it's going to be a nice addition to the Lego city. We're going to have to continue to look at other light options. So if you guys have any ideas, please drop them in the comment section, as this is kind of my first rodeo with lights and adding different things besides can lights and using a ring light to help out with videos. It's really about the extent of the lighting and electrical knowledge that I have, but please drop in the comment section if you guys have any other ideas. Now I want to talk a little bit more about our Lego purchases lately, because not everything has been about string lighting and other things within the Lego room. A lot of it has to do with Lego as well. The first thing that we purchased is Chippendale. You know, we had to get caught up on our BrickHeads. I know some of these are retiring at the end of the year, didn't want to miss out, so we did purchase Chippendale. We also purchased the Disney villains, and unfortunately that is on back order, so we will hopefully receive that in the next 2 to 3 weeks here-ish, but we will see when that time comes. The other thing that we purchased is just some Lego pieces. We had mentioned previously that we are looking to extend and add on to the retro bowling alley, and so we are going to do that. So you can see here the addition that we're going to be making, and I'm excited to add that on because it's really just going to add height onto that and make it look like it fits into the city a little bit more. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about an upcoming set that is coming out, right? We have the Avengers Tower that is coming out, and I'm so excited. I'm a big Marvel fan. We have the Daily Bugle, we have the Sanctum Sanctorum, and I'm looking to add on to those Marvel sets within the Lego City. Now, the set is going to be 76269, right? 5,201 pieces, 31 minifigures. It's also going to include a big fig with the Hulk, and I believe that is actually exclusive, and it's a new piece, especially as the head, I believe, moves now in comparison to the old Hulk big fig that they had previously. Now, there's a lot of other cool things. It does come with the Quinjet, it does come with the Chitauri and other pieces, other additions that will make this set whole. And I do think that the price is pretty reasonable in the fact that it's a large set, right? 5,200 pieces, 10 cents a piece equals out to about $520. But then you're also adding on the price of the minifigures. So to be honest, I really think that this set is going to be a huge set coming out. You may see it on 10, 20% off, but I really don't think you're going to see that for quite a while. So awesome set. We're going to look to pick it up day one, and I want to talk a little bit more about where it's going to go in our Lego City. So the primary reason that I'm shooting this video is to get your guys' opinion on where you think the Avengers Tower should go within the Lego City. Now, I'll give a little bit of context here, right? The Avengers Tower, the new Avengers Tower that's coming out in November, is actually going to sit 35 inches tall. Now, with only having about 27 inches of clearance on the second tier, it kind of eliminates the ability to put that on the second tier. So I have two primary options. I want to get your guys' opinion. And as you're looking at this video, if you have any other ideas, please let me know. The one option that I have is where the Winnie the Pooh set is right here. It's obviously more than 35 inches tall. I think that we'll be able to make it at its own area-ish, but unfortunately then it's going to take away from the park area, and we're going to have, you know, a little bit of a river coming down into a pond, and then it's going to be Avengers Tower. It's just not necessarily going to fit with any of the other sets in the area. So that's spot number one. The best spot that I can think of is right over here. Now, as you're taking a look at the Avengers Tower, right, it does come at a pretty steep incline as it goes up. So what I was thinking is taking away this 5-inch road. What we'll do is we'll end up moving the corner garage, take that out. So we'll have a base plate and a half. And then what I'll do is I'll put the Avengers Tower all the way up against the wall or towards the edge of the table. And then the A in the Avengers Tower will be looking directly at us. And then again, that steep incline is actually going to cause it to not block the Winnie the Pooh set on the back side. It's going to block a little bit of the road, but I'm not necessarily worried about that. And it will actually block a little bit of the little wire that we have running all the way up for the lights. We're gonna have to take care of that in the future here. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Please let me know what your thoughts are. After we put the Avengers Tower here, we'll probably end up putting this 5-inch road plate back, since it does sit on, the Avengers Towers does sit on a regular base plate, or regular 10-inch base plate. So we'll go with that and probably put this road plate back there, you know, try to create some sort of parking. Again, it's not necessarily something I can put on the second tier because it won't fit, but then also on the first tier, I'm struggling with where to put it, primarily because it sits so tall, and I really just don't want to take away from any of the modulars on the second tier. So let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for stopping by, everybody. Please make sure you leave me your thoughts, your comments on the Lego Room and the Avengers Tower. I'm excited to see where you guys think the Avengers Tower should go in the Lego Room, but also your overall thoughts and comments on when you think you'll buy that for your Lego collection. I know it's something that it is a steep price, but it is one of those sets that is going to be amazing based off of, again, the piece count, the number of minifigures. So please let me know what you guys think, and then make sure you guys stay tuned. We are going to start getting in the Halloween spirit and starting to build the Lego Haunted House in our next video. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see everybody soon. Bye.